there, avid listeners. Thanks again for tuning into Sin's Workshop. Alright, today we're going to be talking about Auxiliary London 2039. Now, this is a book I received from a publisher. They asked me to review it, and I said, sure, why not? It sounds cool. It did sound cool. Yeah, it takes place in the year 2039. Robots do everything for us nowadays in this novel. I think I had a problem with the male protagonist, Drecker. He was just not sympathetic. He was not a sympathetic character. In fact, he's a sexist, misogynistic a-hole, and I was not fond of him. He's a good detective. He's a good policeman, but I feel like we kind of enter that stereotypical trope of down on his luck criminal investigator just has sex with women everywhere. You know, I feel like we entered that trope, and it was really cliche, and it didn't make him sympathetic at all as a character. So, the novel follows this officer, and he's investigating a crime. So, a guy killed his girlfriend. However, he claims he didn't do it. You know, he claims his robotic augmented arm just took over and started killing his girlfriend without his permission. So he's investigating this. Like, was this, something that happened wrong with the tech? Was the tech faulty? Was it hacked because it's not supposed to be hackable? What's going on? He becomes very suspicious of the company that is making them. He sees realistic androids, all of which named Cynthia, which, by the way, that kind of bugged me because I'm Cynthia. My name, Cynthia. And now I'm just kind of reading like, oh, there's a ton of copies of me in this novel. That's really great. But it was just... lots of red flags are going off for this character, and understandably so. You kind of get it, like, something's really fishy going on here, something really suspicious is going on here. So it's clear his stuff was hacked. We just don't know why it was hacked, who hacked it, how they were able to hack it, and the company's just like, oh no, there's no way it could have been hacked. That he got that at the black market. We didn't issue that to him. So the officer, he continues to investigate the crime. It does take him to his ex-wife, who left him after the death of their daughter. She didn't want to augment their daughter to save her life with technology. She's all for living off the grid, and she does. She did join this community. People who live off the grid, they don't use any technology. They're just, Amish style people, I guess, at this point. And he is reunited with them, and he has to work with his Tim. That's what they call the technology, Tim. He has to work with Tim. And he doesn't really know who to trust anymore. His partner literally gets his face eaten off by something that printed out of the 3D printer at his house. He doesn't know if he should trust his captain. He doesn't know who's listening, who's hacking, if anyone can hack anything, or if Tim is becoming, self-aware or wants to kill humans. It all leads him to this compound for the people, including his ex-wife. And it's just weird. It's just weird. The thing is, the main character is a sexist, misogynistic a-hole. I didn't find him sympathetic at all. I did not like him. So when I got to the end, I was just like, okay, this is it. Great, awesome. The thing is, I was kind of mad at the ending too, because I'm like, okay, you take us on this great journey, and that's it? He's gonna die? Bad people are gonna get away with it? What's happening? What's going on? What? Seriously? That was me. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. He went through all that, and now he's gonna die? It's open to interpretation for the reader. We don't actually get to see him die. You just kind of hear the pitter-patter of 3D printers going off. And it's just like, what is happening? Like, did his partner, his Tim, the computerized partner, did it turn on him? Like, what's going on? But there's another thing I found difficult with this novel. Okay, so before this whole investigation started, he had to go do an investigation of his own. It was a typical investigation. He finds this dude so sucked into the virtual reality world that he's dead. He died. He's been dead for days. And his dog ate him as well, because he was so into this VI world, that virtual reality, VR world, that he forgot to even take care of his damn dog. The thing is, and this is, okay, so that happens at the beginning of the novel, right? Halfway through this novel and the story, you got a perspective from this guy who was found dead in the first chapter. His life is Drecker's life. And then you're kind of questioning everything after that. You're like, okay, is this what was happening in his virtual reality world that he was living in? Is this even real? What's happening? You ever see that movie Mulholland Drive, when they're investigating something and then, I mean, I can't really describe Mulholland Drive. You have to watch it. But that's how this novel reminded me of Mulholland Drive. Like, everything that happened didn't happen, or did happen, but in a different way. So I was just questioning, I'm like, how am I supposed to feel bad for this guy if he's not even real? Like, is he real? I'm really confused. And I'm like, yeah. It was confusing and distracting, because when I got to that, I'm like, okay, but if this isn't real, then what's the point? What was the point of anything I just read? And it was just blew my mind. It blew my mind that I'm supposed to care about this. And yet, why should I care? It might not even be real. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, you're just like, It was just not great, unfortunately. And, I let the publisher know, because they did ask, how'd you like your book? And I'm like, right, that book. I don't like sending negative reviews to publishers, because I'm afraid they're going to stop giving me books. Or to authors, because I also don't want to hurt authors' feelings. Just because I didn't like something doesn't mean someone else won't. But, yeah, sent them the link for my review. And they're like, oh, thank you for your feedback. Like, yeah, I didn't like it. Sorry. Didn't like it one bit. I just found it really hard to connect to this main character. He's a sexist, misogynistic a-hole. He's a good detective, but he wasn't charismatic. He wasn't charming. There was nothing redeemable about him. Nothing redeemable. And that's what bothered me. There has to be something redeemable about this character. And I didn't find anything redeemable about him. And then you throw in this segment that makes you question if the book that you're reading is even real. Is anything in this book actually happening to these characters? For all we know, this is just a virtual reality playing out, and it ends the way it does because the dude in real life died of malnutrition and his dog turning on him. So you don't even know if it's even real, if it's even worth reading at this point. So it was just tiresome to read this novel, unfortunately. So anyway, that's what I thought about this book. I'm going to go ahead and give it 2 stars. I just didn't really like it, unfortunately. Couldn't connect to the main character. He sucked. And then the fact that I was reading a book that probably didn't even happen bothered me. So once again, this was Auxiliary London 2039. I give it 2 stars. If you want to check out what it's about, I will include a link. Please purchase the book on bookshop.org. If you're on the fence, check out the book from your local library. You can get audiobooks and ebooks from your local library as well. And they also have curbside pickup from many locations. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Please don't forget to like this, follow me, and share it with all your book loving friends. As always, happy reading, everyone.